welcome back to another episode of Behind the Lava Lava, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the vibrant people and cultures of the Pacific Islands. I'm your host, and joining me today is Milford Tiafala. Before we get started, a quick reminder to our listeners to follow, subscribe, and leave a review if you enjoy the show. Now let's jump straight into it. Today we will be talking with Gwendolyn Tuaitanu, former Miss Samoa 2008 and Miss Samoa USA. We will be discussing the recently announced Miss Tausala America pageant. So, ta'alofa, Gwen.
Talofa lava. Thank you for having me.
Now, Gwen, before we go straight into the Miss Tausala America, I want to just bring up your Nafanua Foundation. Why the name Nafanua, and what is the foundation about?
Great question. So when we were trying to figure out our nonprofit, we wanted to center around women and strengthening and embracing them, their womanhood. And so we felt, Nafanua, of course, the goddess of love and war, was appropriate. And not to mention, it was around the time that Moi Moana was also running. And so when Afa'alu had designed her dress and, he was inspired by Nafanua, just a lot of things kind of rang to that direction. And that's kind of how it fell. And since then, we've been going strong. The Nafanua Foundation really is about empowering women, about them realizing the potential that they have, the power that they have within them, the beauty. It's not just beauty, but, just the intelligence and everything about being a Tama'ita'i Samoa. Or not even, I'm not a Tama'ita'i Samoa, but, just a Samoan woman. And so that's pretty much what Nafanua Foundation is we're focusing on the Tama'ita'i Samoa and helping them realize and recognize their potential and finding or creating programs so that way they can elevate their womanhood.
Now, thank you. That's amazing. Now, could you introduce yourself? Tell us about your humble beginnings, where you're from.
Sure. So I was born in Hawaii, in Kahuku, and my parents later migrated to Salt Lake. So I was raised in Salt Lake City, Utah for a majority of my life. My father, he had a painting business. So we pretty much were raised off of his business, off of his hard work. And after that, I went to college, and then I served a mission. I am from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So I served a mission. I came back. I wanted to finish my schooling at the U of U. And then I was approached by some people from Flag Week with this opportunity to gain more scholarship, to gain money. And in order to do that, they said, you have to run for the Miss Samoa USA. And I said, oh, okay, well, I would just finish my mission. So I was really, I guess confident with speaking to other people. And so I didn't mind. In my mind, I was thinking, anything to just meet other people. And so I ran for the Miss, and luckily I won. And then part of the contract was we had to fly to Samoa to compete there. And my parents, while growing up, they really instilled in us arts. Music was very strong in our household. So we would always sing, and we learned to play the piano, and I played the violin. And so it was very, very strong in our home. And so when I found out that I was running the Miss, I went to my voice teacher, got trained. She helped me with the song. And then we went to Samoa, and then I competed, and then I lucked out again, and I won the Miss Samoa competition. And as part of that, we had to stay in Samoa, and it was such a wonderful experience. I also was able to run for what was then is a Miss South Pacific, and now is a Miss Pacific Islands, where I became first runner-up. And that was also an amazing experience where I was able to meet beautiful women from other islands. And so, yeah, that's pretty much how I was raised. It really was humble beginnings. We're just the normal family, my parents working hard from 9 to 5. I would have to stay home, watch my siblings. And, sometimes my dad would pick us up in his paint van and we'd just be so mobbed because there was all these noises making, when he's coming to pick us up from high school. And, it really was humble beginnings, but I'm super grateful for my background because it really allowed me to be grateful for the blessings that I have and what I was raised with, and made me pretty much the person that I am, and the passion that I have right now with helping young women. It was instilled in me from the start. So.
And what brought you to Utah?
Good question. I asked my parents that too. I wish we stayed in Hawaii, but I think my dad said it was better future. It was really expensive in Hawaii to live back then, and they somehow migrated because he had a good job opportunity, and we stayed.
Currently, what are you doing right now?
So currently, he still runs the painting business. He actually expanded a little bit more, so I do his accounting and admin for that full time. I also am a flight attendant for United, and then I also volunteer at my kids' school. And then we started the Nafanua Foundation, so I'm the director founder of that, and we are creating programs, and the Miss Tausala America is the biggest one we're running right now.
Today's episode is brought to you by Top Gun Home Inspection, a leading home inspection company in Utah. When it comes to home inspections, details matter. That's why Top Gun Home Inspection is committed to providing thorough and meticulous services. From the foundation to the roof, their experienced inspectors leave no stone unturned. They offer a range of services, ensuring that every aspect of your home is safe and up to standard. So, whether you're buying a new home or just want to keep your current one in top shape, trust Top Gun Home Inspection. Remember, a detailed home inspection today can save you from costly repairs tomorrow. Top Gun Home Inspection, where your home's health is our top priority.
So, T, you have any personal questions before we proceed?
Personal? No, so as time moves on, things evolve for the better, I guess, for the most part. But within, these celebrated evolutions, a lot of things get lost over that time as well. So as much as we gain, we lose a lot too, or maybe those losses are small. It all depends on how you look at it. So for nowadays, you speak on celebrating womanhood. What is it, or what are some of the most important things that you want the young ladies to grasp and really recognize, within themselves when it comes to, their womanhood, their not just their self-worth, but also, increasing that self-worth and that value and knowing that and knowing how important their womanhood is?
So I feel, one of the things that really helped me out was when I went to Samoa. I knew I was Samoan, and I loved my heritage, but I didn't really know and understand really, just the beauty of our Samoan culture. And it really enhanced the way I felt about myself, and elevated my way of thinking as far as being a Samoan woman. I felt like, I could pretty much do a lot of things because I was just so proud of who I was. And I guess that's, in a sense, what we really want for these young women who are in the U.S. to feel and experience, to know that, if they really truly understand their heritage and where they come from, and, not only that, but I'm pretty sure everyone has a background of what their parents and grandparents went through. It really brings a deeper meaning to who they are. And I really do believe that if they really know and feel who they are, that it takes them to a different level. It motivates them and inspires them to do and be more than what they think they are. And that's pretty much what we're trying to aim for, is to try and help, all these women realize that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Gwen. Now let's talk about the Miss Tausala America. Why the word Tausala in a Miss pageant?
So Tausala there's a lot of meanings to Tausala to me. Tausala not only is, the princess or the main person in a family, in a tribe, the chief's daughter, but she also is the protector, the guardian of her family, of everyone around her. She's just, the woman that takes care of everyone and also portrays herself in a very beautiful and loving and caring way. So that's why we chose Tausala, because it all envelops just what a true Tama'ita'i Samoa should be. And, every young woman is, is a Tausala in their own rights. But we just want to elevate it and remind everyone, kind of from where our roots, where that Tausala is in each of them.
And for this pageant, what makes it unique from the other Pacifica pageants that are here within the U.S. specifically?
Good question. So, I won the Miss Samoa USA, and it was the best experience I've ever had in my life. I can't thank the founders before, Roleni Taffy, and also Junior Patane and Lavinia, and just the whole community that did that pageant. It changed my life forever. I really wanted to grow something that would be long lasting. So the Miss Samoa USA, it stopped for a couple of years, but I really wanted to grow something that was my own, that I knew that would fall on me, to make sure that it actually lasted, that it was more consistent, and something that I felt was really important from my experience as far as education, as far as trying to make sure that, something that I had struggled with was the Ngangana Samoa. That's something else that I really wanted to put out there in the US, and just a lot of different programs that I felt really empowered to create. And so that's kind of the sway in direction why I wanted to create something new that was my own, that I felt really coincides with what the generation right now is going through. So that's why I geared towards something my own, the Tausala America.
Yeah, thank you for providing another platform for our people. So who are your target contestant, people who you're looking for to apply and run in the Miss Tausala America?
So we are targeting our young women, youth and young adults, so ages 18 through 26. And those ages mostly because those are usually the crucial ages when, after they graduate and they're trying to figure out their career-wise, what they're going to do in life. And hopefully this also helps them, again, inspire them and helps them realize, how much of a big potential, and that they can actually be on top of the world. Another reason why is we want to kind of be parallel with Samoa. This is the same criteria for Samoa. So that is also another plan, is to take our girl to Samoa and later on, American Samoa. And we're looking into a lot of different things, but that's the reason why the ages.
First off, let me say I love the connection between the name of your foundation, Nafanua, and also the name of the pageant competition, Tausala. I believe that's a very great connection between the two names. So could you briefly describe for our viewers who may not be familiar with who Nafanua is and why that is important for the name of your foundation?
So Nafanua is a group of individuals that came together because they believed in the same mission. They had the same vision as far as trying to create programs for our youth and young adults, so that way they actually have a platform to achieve more. And I felt like that coincided with Tausala America because, again, it's goddess of love and war, the person that took care of her family and of her village. And again, same with Tausala America. It's someone that we choose here in America to take care of everyone. Or not take care of everyone, and also just be a real rising star, an example to everyone, just all of the young women here in America and even across the other countries, Australia, New Zealand. It's a sisterhood that we're trying to build. And this is the start of it.
So an interesting fact about Nafanua, she is a warrior goddess, but she's also considered a li'i in terms. But Nafanua happens to be from our village, where our moms come from, Falelupo. So shout out to Falelupo. So Gwen, what would you say if you have any challenges? Are some of your biggest challenges so far in trying to start this off?
I feel like with any other, startup, you're always going to have challenges, and, a lot of people, to be honest, I feel like the challenge is more so gaining more knowledge on creating programs that fit, so that way we can find the correct funding for it. But as far as the support, our people have really, been very supportive of this goal, this mission that we're trying to do. So that's pretty much our biggest struggle is creating. Well, we've created these programs. I guess it's just more so helping others believe and sponsor it and fund it. And so it's just a matter of helping other people see our vision, so that way we're aligned.
So in your role, just starting off this pageant, and especially being a director of the Nafanua Foundation, what do you enjoy the most so far in your journey?
So it's funny because after I got married, had kids, and did the family thing, I kind of stayed back and did the stuck to my bubble and just focused on my family and I would participate in different small events here and there, but nothing really big. And so, to be honest, coming back out into the spotlight and actually pushing for this goal, pushing for what we're trying to do for our kids, that's actually been it's very, I don't even, I'm lost for words. Just
it's mostly contention and some sort of satisfaction.
Yeah, very satisfying. I feel like because we're doing this for the right reason, it's easy, and it makes me want to go out and want to do these things and want to put myself out there and just be a voice for everyone else that isn't able to speak on their behalf.
Are you a veteran, military member, law enforcement officer, hospital worker, or educator dreaming of owning your own home? Frontline Heroes is here to make that dream a reality. Their program is designed by a group of realtors, lenders, and escrow specialists who want to give back to those who served our communities. Here's how it works. Their realtors pledge to contribute 25% of their commission, while lenders chip in half a percentage towards closing costs and other fees associated with buying a house. It's their way of honoring your service and making home ownership more attainable. Contact Dan Taylor at 801-512-4200 to learn more and take the first step towards owning your own home. Frontline Heroes, turning dreams into keys.
Yeah, I can relate to that feeling of being involved in the community ever since we started our podcast a little over 2 years ago. I've been deeply involved with the Utah community, especially the business side of things, and I found it's kind of like a sense of belonging, but at the same time, I kind of found my purpose in life in addition to what I'm doing. So I kind of understand that feeling. So when does the pageants, when are you going to start accepting applications, and when is the pageant? Is there a date for it?
Yes, so we actually are opening our registration tomorrow, which we're really excited about. It's something that we've been working on for a few months, and now we are ready to open up registration. So it's open for anyone, again, ages 18 to 26, anyone that has Samoan descent. And there's more information also on we have a Facebook page, so you can like and follow that as well. And we do have a pageant. It is during our Utah Samoan Flag Week. We are part of the Alofa Samoa, so we are helping them out. And also we have just a lot of things planned for that week, and we do plan on having, I believe it's that Saturday, July 20th is pageant crowning night.
This is really awesome, and I hope you continue to pursue this and stay with it, because I mean, from what you already listed and what you do, sounds very busy. busy. But I got to harp on the name again. I mean, just the legend of Nafanua and Tausala, those two, the connection with that is very, very deep and more impactful than you know, I hope. And that it's genius, in a marketing sense, once people start to recognize what those two titles, the names mean and what they represent. But I hope you continue this for years to come. And I got 2 daughters, and maybe if they're not snacking like I am at midnight all the time and being couch potatoes like their dad, hopefully you'll see them there too.
It'll be there.
Now, Gwen, where can people find you, and how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook page, which is the Miss Tausala America if they wanted to register. We also have the website that is under construction right now that should be up within the next week or so. Yeah, it should be up within the next week. And I also wanted to mention the reason why we also did Tausala America is because, and I really wanted to put this out there because there are actually pageants that are happening in other states. There are pageant directors that are just wonderful people. Like I know Henry is over Miss Samoa, Hawaii, and there's Hawaii who is Miss Samoa Golden Gate. There's also, there's quite a few. I believe Anela Stalin, she does Miss Samoa LA. And there are states that really want this program, but haven't really established anything. And so we have people from other states that we've combined our forces to make sure that there is one every year, I think. And that's kind of why we put America to it, because we have Glenn Letuala, who is in Washington. He is our ambassador there. We also have Priscilla Faleafanga, who's in Texas, and she's ambassador there. We have Moana Manuo and PJ Peterson, who is in Missouri. So there's quite a few from different states, and that's why we took the name America, because we do have ambassadors there that don't have the Tausala or Miss established, but they do want it to happen, and we do want to we want it to happen consistently. So again, we joined forces, and that's why we have the America, but they are there as well as our committee here in Utah. If anyone has any questions, we'll also put their names on our webpage and their contact information. So if you're in any of those areas, you're more than welcome to register. We got you. And of course, it's open to everyone else who is wanting to participate in this program. We feel it's really necessary. I feel bad because a lot of times, even after I ran, there's so many girls who wanted to run that never had the opportunity. So I'm very motivated to make sure that doesn't happen, where every girl always has an opportunity every year. And so that's the goal. And that's how you can get in touch with us, is we do have reps and our webpage as well.
Well, thank you very much, Gwen, for coming onto our platform to share about your organization and this new endeavor that you're about to get into. And we really appreciate you sharing your story. Do you have any closing remarks or shout outs you want to say?
Just shout out to all the young women who's out there doing their thing behind the closed doors and really fighting for who they are. Shout out to you for staying strong and being who you are. Hopefully we'll provide a program that is meant just for you to try and get you to where you are. And shout out to you. Thanks so much for both of you and for giving us this opportunity for us to speak and get the word out there on what we're trying to do as well.
Thanks again for doing this. A lot of people talk about what's wrong, with the upcoming generations and complain about this and that, but not a lot of people are taking action, and you're doing it. And it's not just something temporary. You're laying roots, you're pouring the concrete, and you're giving something, you're giving your time, your soul, everything that you're kind of sacrificing from, different aspects of your life that are important. You're pouring it into this to help better the future. So thank you for doing that. And it's great to see. And, not only through your pageant, but just what you're doing right now also provides an example for more, everybody, not just women, to look forward to or look up to.
Thank you.
Now, thank you for tuning into this episode of Behind the Lava Lava. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow, drop a comment, and leave us a review. This is Michael Tan and the team signing off. Tofa Soifua.
Working on my interests, it's who I am. I'm trying to make these digits look like EINs. When the help ain't free, you all help me. Salute to folks who turn their names to LLCs. The wealth is in itself to help a non-profit. To be better women or better men, whether business by veterans or common folks with a dream. We're all born with the same strength. We tread waters that were untouched. Let's be on the same wavelength. Behind the lava, front of our eyes. Let our legacy live off it when we're up in the sky. All signs point to us to help someone make a difference. With God as my witness, let's talk business.